Hey everyone, L to the W here. A while back I did a video on the Camaro, some things that you might not know about the Camaro, small hidden things, or unique features, I guess you'd call it. But ever since doing the video, I've seen some, other YouTubers put out some videos here and there about other stuff. I mean, things I knew about the car, I just didn't think they were unique enough to put it into a video, but I was just there a lot of stuff that people don't know about the car. I guess this car does have a whole lot of stuff that people aren't aware of, so I'm going to put together another part 2 of things that you don't know about the Camaro. And we'll start off here with the keychain. If you look here, a lot of people maybe have mentioned something about there's no key. What happens if your remote dies? I don't believe people know this, but there's a little button right here that you push. Okay, and there's your car key. Now, granted, you can't use it to start, but if your battery's dead, you do need to get in the car. There is an access hole right here that you put the key into. And you just pop that piece off, and there's your key. So that's how you get into the car. Now here's something that you might not notice. If you look here, the way the window's vented, as soon as you close the door, it'll go up. That just makes it easier to open and close the doors. You don't have that vacuum in there. So, while we're on the topic of windows, in the menu in the car, you can actually program this to have the windows go down with the remote if you hold the unlock. Ta-da! Another feature you might not know about. Okay, I'll get my key back together. Okay, speaking of key, I've seen there seems to be a little confusion. Let me get a little light in here. On the keychain, you don't have to keep it anywhere in the car. I've seen some people always put it in the cup holder, which is true. If your remote battery does die, they tell you to put it in the back cup holder. I guess that's where the responder is, and it's close, or it can do something to excite the key to recognize it. But you don't have to have it, and I actually always make the mistake of putting my key right here. And the second I hit the gas, it's off in the back seat. But anyways, moving on. If let's just say you're washing the car or something, you want to listen to the radio, you can just hit the power button, and that'll come on. Also, let's just say that you need to roll the windows up because you just roll them down. Now, without hitting the brake to start the car, if you just tap the start button, you'll have your radio, and you also have auxiliary power. To do that without having to go through and start the car. Now let's just say, this is like really important for us with the automatics. Say we're in a situation like here, it's in my garage and I need to get it towed, it won't start or something, or maybe you want to mess with the settings, and there's certain settings in the car, like the windows I'll show you, you can only do when the engine's running. But say like right now I'm in my garage, I don't want it running, Or like I said, maybe you need to get the car out of gear, but you don't want to start it. If you hold the start button down, you'll hear the fuel pump in that ramp up, and you'll see everything come on. Now you're into full power mode without having to start. And now you can move your shifter. So, man, I hate that. Wi-Fi. So we go here to settings, go to vehicle, go to remote lock. We go here to remote window operation, and you can turn the feature on. Now another neat thing, sorry guys with the stick shifts, if you had the remote start, you can turn the auto cool seats on for the driver or both passenger, as well as the heat. Auto heat seats on driver and passenger. You can just turn on the driver. Well, I guess the car senses the temperature and it'll decide whether to kick the seats on. Okay, now here's one thing that seems to be getting everybody excited. See right over here, you can see the speedometer. So if you come over here and swipe that, it comes over here to the dash. Which really, let's just say if you wanted to, you just go over here to audio and select that, and you can have it there. One thing I do think is neat is right here, your presets. You can just swipe them. You can also program how many presets you have. I only have 10. I don't have a whole lot of channels I listen to. But you could do that, or if you swipe this up, you could double stack them. And the same thing, you could do the same thing on the navigation screen. You can bring your presets up. Now, a couple things over here in, we need to go down here to set options. Because this is something, there's a few things in the car that, see there, 7 of 10, 8 of 10 pages. Not everything's on when you first get the car. See like where it says trip B? I can select to see how it turns blue there, and it turns on. Like tire pressure for some reason isn't on from the factory. The speed limit actually shows your speed limit. The current speed limit uses your navigation to tell you speed limit, and it'll show up on the dash, and that's pretty cool. And then you got engine hours if you want to see that. So you got these pages here that you have to turn on. Now see, like I have lap timers off oil. So some pages might not be available, and you have to go in these info pages and turn them on. But we'll go over here to performance. Some people aren't aware of this because it's not on. There's a 0 to 60 counter right there. So say you're at a dead stop and you want to test out your 0 to 60. As soon as you go, the car will start counting down. And you can see it at awesome 4.2, best time. See if there's anything else. Right there is kind of cool. Tell you your tire temperature. Now these are what they specifically call these summer performance tires, because when these tires are cold, the grip isn't that great. So that's man, that's kind of interesting watching my water temp gauge dance like that. Wow. Anyways, yeah, so that's kind of cool. Yeah, tire temperature. I always just like my speed. Also, if you look here on the dash, see these blue lines on either side of speed? That's actually just a marker as to where you're at in the in your menu settings. Wow, look at that. There ain't no way idle for 12 hours. Makes you wonder what happened to the car before I bought it. I mean, I bought it brand new. Don't get me wrong. So here's a feature that works out pretty good for some of the smaller drivers. They have an eject feature where you can program where you want the seat to be whenever you park to get in and out of. So like me, I'm 6'1", my seat's all the way back, so it doesn't really matter for me. But you know, somebody smaller, like if my wife were to drive, she's like a little 5 foot. She would have the seat up, so instead of her trying to reach down and stretch and reach the buttons, she can just hit the eject button. That's another neat little feature. Other than that, I think I've covered about everything I could think of for the car. Thanks again for watching part 2 of the series. Please subscribe to the channel, like, shares, comments, always appreciated, and we will catch you on the next video. Thank you.